All right, guys. Let me check the live stream. Make sure we're live streaming. Yes, we're live. Week 11, the Square Pick Show, coming to you live and in person is Reversion Ronnie and Rebound Ricky and Bammer Steve.
Before you get started, Stephen, I just want to welcome you back. I'm glad you were able to get the early release from prison. Unfortunately, it came with COVID, but whatever it takes to get out of jail, man.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you back. And again, everybody's innocent until proven guilty. So understood why you did the things you did. So.
Well, I really appreciate that, and I can just tell you this: the Hillsborough County Jail here in Tampa is not a place you want to spend more than a week. I can tell you, I'm a little short of 200 pounds, and I was a little bit scared. There's some big boys.
Did you tell everybody to protect their eyes?
Well, I tell you what I did when I first walked in there. I just picked the smallest dude I could find and blinded him. So.
Was it a 2-finger poke? Sorry, you just went for one.
No, I mean, so once you use your fingernails to like jab someone's eyeball out, even no matter how big you are, you kind of like, oh, I ain't touching that dude. So. All right, guys. So yeah, well, week 11. I'm gonna kill this music here. We're gonna get started with the show. So week 10, guys. Before we roll into the games we want to discuss, I want to just go around the room here and week 11. Ronnie, what's your just general opinion of the season so far, and tell us your thoughts on the games for week 10.
I'll tell you, I went 3-0, 19-5 on the season, so I'm feeling really good. I do feel like it's unsustainable. So if you're going to fade me, maybe this is the week to do it. But 19-5, it feels pretty solid. So I'm happy with the way my picks are going so far this year. It's definitely been a weird year. It's kind of weird trying to pick games every week, and you got one team that's played 8 games, and the other one's only played 2, and just kind of picking through the stats is kind of weird. But man, I'm just glad we're having football.
Well, I do want to comment. I know you made a comment about me being mean, and I apologize if I've been mean to you on the show. But I will say this. Standing around the water cooler, we used to stand around the water cooler and talk football. You never picked this good when we were doing that. So my hat's off to you. You brought your A game, and your stats prove it. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so me this week, I had a lot of thinking I had to do for myself. Slightly under 500 before this week, 10-11, always looking to improve. And one of the things I found is if you look at my account on BetSperts, I was 1-5 in the ACC, the one conference that I spent the most football watching. So what did that tell me? Don't bet on anything that I know about. It's clearly been letting me down. So I followed that this week, and I went 6-1, baby. 6-1. We're 16-12. We're above 500. We're at 57% for the year. We're making money. This is how you make money. This is how you do this for a living like we do. So key is don't watch football and just pick on your gut. And did great this year. Unfortunately, I picked Texas. That was my one loss of this week. But feeling great. So, for the rest of the year, I probably plan on not picking any games that I've ever watched any team play. So look it up.
Well, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy you're embracing the square axiom number 1, which is pick teams you have never seen before or don't know anything about. That's the number 1 rule, and I think that's why Ronnie's doing so well this year, because he picks a lot of these teams that he doesn't know anything about, and he just seems to really like put his football eyes aside and just pick it based on maybe stats or objective data. So that's good. So I'm glad you came.
I don't even think Ronnie watches football anymore. I think he watches like the one Florida game for the week, but I don't think he's allowed to watch any more football.
Pretty accurate, actually. Unless there's like the West Coast games, I probably do pretty good at the Pac-12 games because when everybody's asleep, I can actually watch football.
Yeah.
But yeah, Florida is pretty much about all I can watch anymore.
Yeah, your Gators won me 2 bets this past week. Did what I thought they were going to do. Georgia didn't have much offense, so
yeah, that was a kind of eye-opening for me watching that game and how underwhelming Georgia's offense is. So they really don't have a lot of weapons. I know they had some injured players, and the number one receiver I think was out before the game, and I think the next receiver broke his ankle or lower leg or something in the game. That was nasty.
What was crazy is his teammate was like, "Get up, let's celebrate, and the dude's like pointing at his leg, dude. Do you not see my ankle? It is hanging off."
Yeah, it was like his first touchdown ever too. I think he was like a freshman or sophomore. Yeah. But that was ugly, and they kept showing replays. I don't understand that. Usually, like, they kind of break away, they go to commercial, and something like that happens. And they kept showing it over and over. But that was. They just didn't have a whole lot of offense. I heard a lot about the running back before the game, but they just couldn't do a lot. And then of course our offense did pretty well. We didn't do as well in the second half, which I don't know if that was everybody went into the locker room and partied because they thought they won the game, didn't play the second half, or we just didn't have a really good scheme, or Georgia had a better scheme in the second half on their defensive side. But I was happy to get the win. Hopefully we show up this week. Don't overlook Arkansas. I know Felipe is going to come out to the swamp ready to play. So we'll see what happens.
I thought it was funny how in our podcast last week I was saying that Florida doesn't have to really worry about their run defenses. Going to be good or whatever. The first play, 75-yard touchdown. I was like, okay, nope. Ronnie was right. The run defense sucks.
Yeah, it really, our defense played pretty well because he had the 75-yard run, and then the next drive where they had like a penalty and like a blown coverage, and like it was really weird. Like too many, like 12 men on the field, just stupid stuff was happening, and then after that, they pretty much didn't do anything. So our defense did play pretty good, kind of like it did the Missouri game. Hopefully that continues for the rest of the year, but I think that has a lot to do with the lack of offense Georgia had.
Yeah, well, I just want to make you guys aware. I did write a letter to the commissioner of the SEC regarding that game. Florida should have their whole team should have been suspended, including their coach. He should be banned for the rest of the year for his antics and trying to fight Missouri by himself. He was like a 50-year-old maniac running out on the field like he was going to fight grown man-ass football players by himself. And so
he didn't even do that.
Just for those shenanigans, the SEC, I'm petitioning the SEC for them to just take that game away from Florida because really the whole team should have been suspended, including their coach. So,
Steven,
Ronnie, I'm not trying to make you mad, Ronnie, but it's the truth. Your coach acted like a maniac, and you guys need to pay the price for it. But Florida,
Steven,
Florida never pays the price.
If you need any signatures, let me know.
Man,
okay.
If you actually watch the game or watch the video, you'd see him going towards the ref and getting in the ref's face for not throwing the flag on the play. Because if he would have thrown the flag, none of that would have ever happened. They would have roughing the passer penalty, would have got another time down. There would have been no fighting and none of that. But because they have to take it into their own hands, this happens all the time in hockey, because we got to take it in your own hands because refs aren't going to call it. We got to settle things because they're messing with our quarterback. So that's what happened.
Well,
the Georgia safety took it in his own hands when he knocked the crap out of Pitts on that coming across the middle hit. I thought that kid died. I thought both of them died.
That was
from here on out, we need to refer to Dan Mullen. He's not Dan Mullen anymore. He's Bobby Knight. So if he wants to be Bobby Knight and blow his top and act like a freaking idiot, that's okay. We'll just call him Bobby from now on. He's Bobby from Florida.
What was the Ohio State coach that got fired from hitting a Clemson player back in the day?
Woody.
Oh, yeah, Woody.
Woody Hayes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we should call him.
I mean, look, if he wants to be a hero, I mean, why don't he run off the sideline and make a tackle or something? I mean, just go out in style.
Are we going to talk about football? Or are we going to talk about fake news? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
All right, so that was moving on. Moving on to better teams than Florida and Georgia. Clemson and Notre Dame. Clemson, Notre Dame. What do you guys think about that?
I feel like Notre Dame had so many opportunities to make the game out of reach, and they kept screwing up. So I watched the second half. I didn't really get to see the first half for reasons we already talked about. But yeah, that was that was. I just feel like Notre Dame, especially in the second half, like what he fumbled it. The quarterback fumbled it right when he's walking into the end zone. There's a couple other plays where they could have just scored, got the game out of reach, but it kept it interesting.
well,
Some commercial time.
to me, this told me Notre Dame is still old Notre Dame. So Clemson was missing their starting quarterback, missing 4 or 5 players, starters on defense, and then I think another 2 receivers, and they still almost beat Notre Dame. So to me, Notre Dame's junk. When they play in the ACC championship, most likely, assuming Clemson gets who they get, their starters back, this game is going to be a 21-point loss for Notre Dame. So what I did see, which I hate with a passion, is that backup quarterback for Clemson is going to be a problem for the next 3 years. That kid's gigantic, and he can throw, he can run. He's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but also, do you think Notre Dame's Clemson's defense, like Notre Dame's offense, did pretty well against Clemson's defense? Notre Dame, I don't think has. I mean, I heard they have a really good O line, and they do have some weapons, but I don't think that they're like the premier offense. And Clemson had a lot of trouble with them.
Yeah, but Clemson was missing like half their defense, so that's what I'm saying. If they get those players back, not worried about Notre Dame at all.
Was it all COVID related?
Some injury. I think it was like half and half.
Okay. Okay.
Well, the bad news about that game was that it doesn't knock Clemson out of the playoff picture, but it definitely fires up the Notre Dame as if it needed any more hype. I saw people on the news, just not even related to football, showing their Notre Dame hats and acting like Notre Dame was back and all this stuff. So now we get to hear that. So that'll be good talk for the rest of the year for sure. But
what it probably does is probably puts a good probability that 2 ACC teams are going to make it to the playoffs. Because if Notre Dame could somehow keep that game close against Clemson, you're probably going to say, I got to put both of them in the playoffs. You got Ohio State and then Bama with the other spot, assuming Florida loses to Bama in the championship. So
okay. So it sounds like now you're claiming Notre Dame in the ACC. Is that true?
No. Okay. Hold on.
The ACC's been trying to do that for a long time. Notre Dame's the one that's been holding out.
Well, no, the Pittsburgh coach Narduzzi came out and said, this is enough. Like, join the conference or don't schedule them to play any ACC teams anymore.
Okay,
you guys don't get to play both ways.
So all I got to say, I'm fine with you claiming Notre Dame.
No,
but let's just say this
year
when they go to the playoffs and they play either Ohio State or Alabama, and we put 50 on them in the first half. I want to see you claim them as the ACC team after that. That's all. I just want consistency. That's all.
I'm never going to claim them. I hope they lose to every single team they play. Let's be very clear about this. I hate them.
One thing I did want to bring up was
that's where I want you.
Dame. Those tight ends for Notre Dame are enormous. Did you see especially that one freshman? Is they kept playing the Halloween music every time he got the ball. I can't remember the dude's name. That dude is a freshman and he's enormous.
Yeah, whatever. It's Notre Dame. They're all soft.
Yeah. It's like last time Bama played them, they had some real 6'7" or 6'8" receiver or something, And
Yeah, how'd that work out for them?
yeah, it's almost like it's almost like the coach gets in his car and drives around Indiana, cornfields, and he like finds the biggest, tallest dude he can find and say, "Come on to Notre Dame." He can't catch. He's slow as hell, but he's a big dude. All right.
They've had a few pretty good draft picks out of Notre Dame for tight ends here lately, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just having fun with that. Actually, this was a wide receiver. It was Elbert, or what's his name? Ebert or Ellert? I forget his name.
I think, yeah, Eifert was one.
Eifert, that's it. Yeah.
I think that's one you're thinking of.
They don't produce them like Miami. Miami's tight end. You don't even start with me.
Yeah.
Speaking of Miami,
don't even start with me.
Speaking of Miami, let's move on to this 44-41 shootout with North Carolina State. Looks like
still any fingernails, Ricky?
Huh?
You still got any fingernails there, Ricky?
Yeah, I was actually basically I got to the end of the game and I said, if this is the same Miami team that we've been the last 10 years, we will not come back and win this game. If we're on the right trajectory as a team, we'll come back and win this game. We came back and won. So I'm good. I think we got some defensive issues, obviously. There's rumors that Manny Diaz kind of took over the defense in the fourth quarter, and you can see there was a noticeable difference. They couldn't move the ball. We got a turnover. We got a couple sacks. So good thing was we saw our wide receivers for the first time actually make some plays, contested catches. We're beating coverages, getting separation. So it's a good sign going forward. Looks like our wide receivers are finally stepping up and kind of matching their rival stars and stuff like that. We're supposed to get back our best tight end in the nation. We have his backup's really good too. He's been, selected like tight end of the week a couple times. But Brevin Jordan is our starter. He was projected to be a first-round pick at the beginning of the season. He's supposed to be coming back this week.
In the nation?
Yeah, easily.
Easily?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Pitts is not a tight end. Shut your mouth.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. If you're claiming he's a tight end, come on, man.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, Ricky, I'm kind of disappointed because I thought that you would come on the show and demand your coach get fired because this, Miami has a tradition like Alabama, and we don't accept. I mean, if it was 41-4, I would still be disappointed. So, and that's where you need to be with a tradition-rich program like Miami, your history of national championships, or just pipeline to the pros. Dude, I mean, I thought you were going to come on here and say that you wanted your coach fired, but hey, I support you in this new leaf you turn over.
Okay, I'll be honest. I'm going to the game next week, so I'm kind of in a positive mood. And I just want to go into that game in a positive mood. Like when I'm at that game and we lose to Georgia Tech next week, you're going to see a different Ricky. But I'm trying to be positive right now.
So you're going to where's the game at? Is it in Georgia or is it?
It's in Miami.
Miami. Okay.
Who had the COVID issues, Georgia Tech or Pitt?
I think it was Georgia Tech. So, yeah, I'm worried that the game's going to get canceled.
Okay.
I'm worried that the whole ACC is about to get canceled with Notre Dame rushing the field, but that's a whole different story. But
Close to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
All right, what was the other game we wanted to discuss? I thought there was one more.
Michigan losing again.
Yeah.
Losing 38-21 to Indiana.
Indiana's a good football team.
They are. They're a good team.
Why are they a good team? They beat Penn State, who sucks. They beat Michigan, who sucks. They play in the Big Ten. They suck. Why are we trying to give them?
We're saying they're better than a normal Indiana team. And, okay, so they've played maybe slightly inferior opponents, but they're playing well. So.
Well,
I don't know.
Guys, I think this is the week. What I'm hoping happens this week is historic in nature. I hope I hope that the Big 12 and the Big 10, everyone except Ohio State. So the Big 10, the Big 12 just concede the football season. They just need to come out and just publicly announce they're not in the running anymore because we know they're both trash. They're not going to make it. And even if by some chance any team from those conferences slip in, they're going to get dominated. So I'm hoping, like our other folks around the world, they just need to concede the football season.
Well,
Ohio State's getting in.
Well, they just canceled that game, so I don't know if they have enough games to qualify. I
How many do
heard.
you need?
I thought you needed at least 8, but I could be wrong.
There's no way. That's how many games they were playing.
I think
Pac-12
Yeah,
was playing 8 games.
What?
this
You
year
need
this
like
year's going to be
3.
different. Yeah, this year's going to be different. They're going to bring in the
Well,
usual
no, I
suspects.
I heard there was already,
suspects.
I thought I heard there was already rumors that they were going to try to push back the playoffs so Ohio State could make up the game.
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, but it's
Yeah. There ain't no rules this year.
That was the whole thing.
Exactly.
That was the whole thing with the Big Ten, that they screwed themselves because they couldn't afford, if any team got COVID, they wouldn't be able to make up the game, so they wouldn't qualify for the playoff. So
Well, I think now what I'm hearing is that there may not be a playoff. So, with so much COVID going around, and basically,
It's gonna be old school. AP chooses the national championship.
yeah,
well,
yeah.
I mean,
Maybe mine would get another one.
based on the vaccine news that came out, would you be surprised if any of these schools put out as much money as they needed to make sure that the vaccine got to them before the end of the year? If they're saying 20 million are going to be available before the end of the year, you better believe Ohio State and Bama are going to get them. Like, they will find a way. The local hospitals for those schools will be like, you can have our vaccines.
Yeah, that's going to be sad when they're getting the vaccine before doctors and nurses. That's going to be.
You know it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but Florida's already had all the COVID. They can handle it. They're already immune to it. They don't need to get vaccinated.
Exactly, self-induced vaccine.
Yeah, every team just needs every team needs Coach Mullen's wife to just join in. You can cure all your problems real quick.
Oh, come on down to Gainesville.
By the way, guys, I forgot to mention in my letter to Commissioner Sankey, I put in there that I wanted Bobby Knight tested for creatine or any kind of performance enhancing drugs, because he's acting like a roid rage here on national television. Just FYI.
Ref should have got fined. Hopefully got suspended.
Oh, that's funny.
Speaking of which, that reminds me of a topic. Let's talk about Liberty for a minute.
A pick of mine, by the way.
Yeah, that's your favorite team this year. I know you dropped Memphis. You were really just dating Memphis really heavily, and you just dropped Memphis now, and you're married to Liberty and Hugh Freeze and his parade of hookers. We know that. So Hugh Freeze.
Hey, they're winning ball games.
That's all that counts, right? It's all that counts. Right?
That's a true SEC fan right there.
Exactly. Only a freaking hypocritical SEC coach, cheating ass, Jesus loving dude like that could roll up into Liberty, and you never even heard you 2 years ago. Did you even know they had a football team? Like only he can roll up in there and start beating the crap out of the ACC teams. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Did you see what happened at the end of that game?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So
Virginia Tech blocked the field goal.
Yeah, so Virginia Tech blocked it, ran it back for a touchdown. They accidentally called the timeout right before the play happened, so they had to run the play back, and then Liberty made the game-winning field goal.
It was like a 54-yard field goal or something like that.
Yeah.
They're kicking a 59-yarder. And he called a timeout on a 59-yard.
I mean, props to Liberty. They're acting like they're just super confident and they're the big dogs on the block. So it's funny to see that they can do that with such little experience doing it. So hats off
Yeah,
to them.
I want to see like a Liberty Coastal Carolina game.
I think it's going to happen, isn't it? Isn't that going to happen?
It might.
I'm pulling that up right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually the last game. They're the last game in December 5th.
Yeah. Did you
That's
see?
going to be the game of the week. That's going to be game day. Who would have thought before the season started? Game day.
You know,
Liberty.
it should be. You know, Ric Flair shows up in the Coastal Carolina locker room after each game. I'm serious. You got to watch those videos.
That's
story.
great. That's great.
That's pretty funny right there.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to move on to our Week 11 rundown and picks?
Let's do it.
All right.
right.
How many big games do we?
Yeah, I think the big story is all the postponements. Just we got Bama and LSU postponed, Ohio State and Maryland, Texas A&M and Tennessee, Georgia and Mizzou, Auburn and Mississippi State. Looks like the SEC is pretty much the epicenter of this COVID outbreak coming on here.
That and the Pac-12.
Yeah, it's like there's some stuff going on out there. I don't know how they have so much COVID. They weren't even playing, but I guess they do. Okay, so we want to go over picks now. Is that what you guys want to do?
Yeah, I guess I guess only two games that I wanted to comment on was Wisconsin, Michigan. I think is going to be an interesting game. Wisconsin come back off 2 canceled games.
Yeah.
They looked really good the first week. They had that freshman quarterback. Yeah, I just read that it looks like he's still in protocol, so he might play, and he might not. So this might be an opportunity where Harbaugh kind of maybe saves his job if he beats Wisconsin, since they're seen as a ranked team, or they lose this game and Harbaugh's seat's on fire. So I think that'll be an interesting game to watch to see how that game plays out.
So, Ricky, are you picking this game?
No.
Okay, good. So I want to talk about this for a second. So Wisconsin, I mean, they're getting all the hype because they got this new quarterback and they lit the world on fire against what team did they beat? Does anybody remember?
Illinois.
Like, I mean, that's got to be like the cellar dweller, not just for the Big Ten, but for across the nation, right? At least definitely for Power 5. And then you got a Michigan team who's getting a lot of bad publicity because of the way they've been playing lately. I'm just saying, I feel like there's got to be some value in Michigan. What is the line? Is it 3 Wisconsin?
I thought at one point it was. I'm not sure what it is now, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably going to go up until game time. So I'm just saying, if you had to play this game, I mean,
It's minus 4.5.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe now it's time to take it because it's not going to go to 7. In between, it's not going to go to 6. So yeah, 4.5 is a good number. I mean, I
don't know. To me, if that freshman quarterback plays, I see Wisconsin winning. I remember seeing him at the All-American game. He was pretty good. Looked like he had a good game. I get what you're saying. It's Illinois, but I guess it all depends.
Against Illinois.
I guess it all depends on what's happened the past 3 weeks. So I assume he wasn't allowed to practice at all, probably. So I think they have like a 21-day protocol. So that probably, like you're saying, has a big factor.
On top of that, you're talking about, you're having how many people do you know that's out of the protocol or playing? Like how much at full strength is Wisconsin anyway? So I don't know. I feel like Michigan's a play here. It's not an official play for me here on the podcast, but it's definitely a strong lean.
Yeah, and the other game that I was thinking about was Penn State, Nebraska. Assuming Nebraska loses that game, as another coach is probably seats on fire.
Yeah,
Frost.
picks, actually.
Yeah, Frost. He's it's homeboy team, so I'm sure they'll give him more time than they'll give other coaches, but it's not turning out how they hoped.
It's like, they brought him there for offense, right? And that's the one thing they haven't had since he got there. They haven't had offense here in a long time, but that was the whole reason they brought him there. Nebraska's got a pretty storied program on defense, but they know they needed offense, and it ain't happening for them.
Yeah, it's interesting when you go back. I think I heard like the whole thing with Michigan starting to, I guess, think about this as well as when I saw Nebraska, like the previous coaches, like Pelini was winning 9 to 10 games a year. Callahan, I think, won 9 games as well. So Michigan's going through the same process of like, okay, yeah, Harbaugh's not getting it done, but like he's still winning 9, 10 games. How many coaches are going to find that could really get you over the hump? I think starting to realize like it's not that easy to win. You can't just become a national powerhouse again and win 12 games every year kind of thing. It's just there's only a few select programs that could do that. So
yeah. And Pelini, does Pelini still have a job as the B coordinator at LSU?
Yeah,
it's getting kind of ugly down
it
there.
hasn't going very well. Yeah.
And they're canceled this weekend, are they one of the canceled games?
They're the Alabama LSU,
yeah. All right. Well, how many games you got, Ricky?
I got 6. What do you got?
4. So why don't you go?
All right. So, I gave that whole speech at the beginning of this podcast about not picking ACC teams, and I actually picked 3 ACC games, so probably not going to do that well this week. But so many games got canceled, so it was a little tough. So the first game I got Notre Dame minus 13.5 against Boston College. I think they know they got to, this is obviously a trap game and all that kind of stuff, but I'm sure Kelly's got them a little bit more focused in and stuff. So Boston College isn't that great team. They're up and down a lot. So I'm going Notre Dame minus 13.5.
It's a lot of chalk, Ricky.
It's not that much chalk. It's not that much.
Notre Dame it is.
Notre Dame's been putting teams away that they're supposed to be putting away. I hate to say that, but they have been for the most part, other than that Louisville game. They've been beating teams how they're supposed to.
Yeah. All right. Well,
so Ricky, on that Notre Dame, it sounds like you're swiping right on that Notre Dame game. It seems like you're really. I mean, look, dude.
You're really trying to honeypot me. This is really messed up. You know how much I hate them.
Well, no. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I thought we were on the same wavelength about hating Notre Dame, and all of a sudden, there's all this love for Notre Dame from you. I mean,
this is like the third time he's picked Notre Dame this year.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I haven't picked them once. I don't think I have.
All right,
go back and watch our podcast. Get more views.
If there are any fans out there, if you have a poster of Notre Dame, send it to Ricky here. He needs one for his background over there. Okay.
It's really messed up, Steven. It's really messed up.
Going back to the well here with ACC schools. So I think 13.5 is too many points for Wake this weekend. I know North Carolina is a really explosive offense, and they'll probably win. But Wake Forest, I think they're going to make this a game. They're on a 4-game winning streak after starting 0-2 against Clemson and losing a barn burner to NC State. And the fact that Wake has an extra week to prepare for this North Carolina team, who decides not to show up every other weekend. So I think Wake will probably make this game. They're probably going to run the ball, try to hold on to the ball, keep North Carolina's offense off the field, and you may want to wait until game time to try to pick up a plus 14. But Wake's definitely the play this weekend.
That game's too up and done, man. I get, like you said, you never know what's coming out of North Carolina. So it's more, you never know what team you're going to get. So they could blow them out, or it could be a close game. So
we said that last week about Syracuse. I should have took them.
Who did they play?
I think Duke.
Whatever.
But Anyways,
Yeah.
it's going to be a win.
All right. The next game I got Houston -14 against South Florida. South Florida sucks. That's my sum of my story. That's what I'm sticking with. That's pretty much it.
What's the spread?
-14. Go ahead. Say it's too much chalk because I know you like Houston, so I know you're afraid to say that.
I was thinking like it's not that many points for Houston, so
yeah.
But it's still chalk. Just identifying that.
Yeah.
It's still chalk.
Yeah.
All right. So this next pick, Illinois and Rutgers, and this one's not about. It's more about how bad Illinois is instead of how good Rutgers is. I know the media likes to talk up this new improved Rutgers team, and they do seem to be better than the normal Rutgers that we're used to seeing. I know they benefited a lot though from all the turnovers in the Michigan State game. Then they had a couple of tough matchups against Ohio State, Indiana, where they did kind of hang tough, but the usual outcome happened there. So, but the verdict's not quite out on Rutgers, but we know Illinois is extremely bad, and they're going to be without their starting quarterback again this week. So I would lay the 6.5 points with Rutgers this weekend.
Can you repeat the word Illinois for me, please?
Illinois.
Yeah,
I know I'm saying Illinois. Can you just go with Illini? I'm reading my notes and I read it as Illinois.
All right.
Illinois.
That's all. That's the only comment I have on that.
Yeah, Ronnie. So the Big Ten Network is going to thank you because we have 3 subscribers, and that's gonna improve their viewership on this channel by 100%. So I appreciate that. They're going to appreciate that.
We're up to 6, Steven. 6 subscribers. Okay.
Ooh, all right.
Well, I was just looking at the real time stats, and there for a while we had one person watching. So about the same amount of folks are going to watch that game on the Big Ten Network at 1:00 tomorrow as they're watching us.
Still gonna be a winner.
That's funny. All right, the next pick I got Washington State against Oregon over 58. Oregon put up a bunch of points last week against Stanford. I think they let up, was it 14 or 21? But that was also with like 4 missed field goals by Stanford. So their defense isn't that great either. And we know Washington State, with Michael Leach leaving there, they don't have defense and they probably have some offense. So I'm expecting a big, high-scoring game. I think Oregon will put Washington State away, but I can easily see over 58 points there. So.
Okay. All right. So my next pick, you guys were talking earlier about how I like to take Liberty, or I've done that a lot this year, but I think this is the 3rd or 4th time I picked Tulane this year. So maybe I'm 2-timing Liberty and Tulane here. I don't know. But I think Army has received a lot of hype this year from the media. And I think that coming out of the box, maybe those deserved, but I don't think most people know how many injuries they've had, especially at the quarterback position. Right now, they're playing a freshman and a sophomore at the quarterback position who weren't even listed on the depth chart at the beginning of the year. So also, I think Tulane does really well against the rush. That's the strength of their defense. And I think all the Tulane offense has performed well enough, even in some of the losses that they had, to kind of put up enough points here to cover the 3.5 with Army. So play Tulane, laying the 3.5 at home.
Bad choice. Bad pick. Army Veterans Day weekend celebrations probably going on at that game.
That was last weekend.
Both weekends could be considered Veterans Day weekend stuff. So
correlating Veterans Day with Army and not looking at the stats. That's what we're going to go with.
Yep. And it's probably going to work. It's probably going to work.
Probably right.
All right. Next pick I got Tulsa versus SMU over 64. SMU fast-paced offense. Same thing with Tulsa. Saw how many points they put up against UCF earlier this year. So they both high-power offenses. We know nobody plays defense this year, so 64 points definitely seems easy.
I like that one. I was trying to look at the line on that game, and there's just too much uncertainty there. But yeah, I like that pick. That's a good one. All right. So we talked about this a little bit earlier. Penn State, Nebraska. Neither team has covered this season, and in both scenarios is due to the offense underperforming. But I think it's pretty obvious which offense is worse, and that's Nebraska. Nebraska's only touchdown last week against Northwestern was a one-play, 3-yard drive after an interception. So I think the fact that Penn State is only favored by 3 is pretty much an overcorrection from them starting out the season 0-3. I don't know what the line was, like the look-ahead line for Penn State, Nebraska a couple of weeks ago or at the end of the season, but I guarantee you it was at least a touchdown or more, probably definitely more. So I would lay the 3 points on the road with Penn State this weekend.
Yeah, I like Penn State. Good pick. All right, my next game, Florida State, NC State. I got NC State -10. Obviously, we just played them. Our defense has typically been pretty decent, and they put points up on us pretty easily. Florida State's defense is terrible. They just lost 4 more players this past week. Marvin Wilson, probably the best player on their team, just opted out for the year, lost a wide receiver. James Blackman decided to opt out, and he's transferring. So if Travis gets hurt, they're down to their freshman quarterback, I believe, Purdy. So things are looking worse and worse on FSU. If I think people thought I can't even remember their old coach's name at this point, Taggart. I think they thought that was the worst as it could get, and this seems like this is way worse. So I see NC State putting a hammer down on them and easily winning by more than 10.
Yeah,
so.
I like that one. I meant to research that game, but yeah, that's a good one.
And then the last game, you don't have any more, right, Ronnie? You say you're done?
That was it for me, yeah.
Yeah. The last game, a total disrespect of a line. Miami is +2. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Virginia Tech just lost to Liberty. They beat Louisville by 7 points before that. They lost to Wake by 7 before that. I mean, we're 6-1, baby. Coming for it, slowly building it back up. This reminds me of shades of 2000, where we got blown out in the beginning of the year, slowly built back up, and next year was the greatest team of all time, the 2001 Miami Hurricanes. So I could see that again happening. I see it developing before my eyes. We're going to put the slacking on Virginia Tech. 2 touchdowns easy.
Just watch out because you got Indiana at number 10 right behind you. If you struggle, if you don't win by at least 35 or 40, you may get overtaken by Indiana. So
not happening. I think right now, by the way, the projection right now, Ronnie, Miami against Florida in the Orange Bowl.
Nice. Are we going?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll probably already be down there. I can just stay down there another week.
Hey, I wouldn't go to any games with any Florida fans. They're not wearing masks. They're super spreader events. They like to fight the referees. It's just a pure mess right now. I wouldn't go to any games with it. Yeah. So yeah. You don't get
if that game happens, Ronnie, I'm down.
See what I can do.
All right. Any other games you guys want to talk about before we sign off here tonight on week 11? And hopefully, Ronnie, your picks will continue. And then, Ricky, I hope you get on your picks too. Otherwise, you guys ain't got any parting shots today?
No, man.
Nothing?
Nope. Nothing else from me, man.
We need some extra music. You're going to bebop, Steven?
Am I going to do what?
You're going to bebop, Steven, for the exit music?
Oh, one last thing. Betperts.com. rgomezsae for me. Look them up. They're only going to be free for so long, ladies and gentlemen. Keep winning like this. They're only going to be free for so long. Yeah. Take advantage.
All right, guys. We're headed out a little early. You still got time to make it to your MAGA rally in Washington, D.C. tonight. So you guys head on out. I'll see you there. Bye.
See you guys.